Brittany Griner was just sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison for smuggling a nano amount of marijuana. And I have some like really strong opinions about this entire case from start to finish and some questions, and we're gonna just, you know, tear it all apart today. I don't know. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Jess. I am a person in long-term recovery, who has in fact gone to prison for drugs. Yeah, I was way more guilty than her. So, just saying. If you guys want to follow me on any other social media platform, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, that's $2. It's only ever going to be $2. All of that is linked down below, as well as my podcast and my vlog channel. You should go like subscribe to the vlog channel. I'm going to be spilling some tea over there in like a weird artsy way because my brain's a dumpster fire. Okay, enough about that. Let's kick this thing off. Unless you've been like living under a rock somewhere since February, you probably know that Brittany Griner is a WNBA player who is very tall. Very tall. Wonder what it's like to be that tall. Not relevant to this. She was traveling to Russia and she had a pen, a cannabis pen, in her suitcase. Girl. So she was arrested and detained for smuggling the tiniest little bit of cannabis in a vape pen. Okay, so here's my first very strong opinion. You shouldn't be traveling to a place until you know the laws in that area. Have y'all never watched Locked Up Abroad? Drives me nuts. But know the laws where you're going. You have to know the laws in the state that you live and any state that you're traveling to. The laws are so different in New York compared to Mississippi, right? The laws are so different. Just in the United States alone. Okay, so first things first, it was very foolish of her not to know the laws in Russia. I don't care what the excuse is. There's just literally no excuse to not know the laws where you're traveling to. And I know I'm gonna get pushback from that because people are like, well, I travel all the time, I'm not breaking the law. You don't know that though. If you don't know the laws in the areas that you're in, how do you know you're not breaking the law? Did you just like go to Brazil or Russia and not get caught for a crime? Cool, that's not knowing the laws and knowing that you're not breaking the laws. Okay, so I just wanna get that out of the way. Know the laws where you're going, do some research on it. Also, double check your suitcases, your luggage, whatever you're taking to the airport. It's obviously like really common sense, right? To just make sure that you're not accidentally bringing something to a country that you're not supposed to have. Common sense, right? And I believe that this was a mistake. I believe it was a mistake. I'm just pointing out the very obvious, which is check your shit and know the laws where you're going, right? Very obvious thing. She can't take that back now. We are where we are, right? I'm just saying for everyone else watching, if I was a lawyer and I was looking at this, I would have been like, come on, man. You didn't read the laws. You didn't check the suitcase, like, because it's very careless, and that careless, very small, in my opinion, mistake, that very small error is now causing her so much pain, right? So that's why I said all of that. Moving on. She was sentenced to 9 years. Okay, so obviously everyone is like, oh no, that's crazy. That is so dramatic. I can't believe that she would get sentenced 9 years. And I'll circle back to that. Here's my question. What were her lawyer's strategies? Hope? Hope was the strategy? Hope for leniency? We're just gonna like roll the dice and hope the judge is like, hey, I get it. Mistakes happen. Sometimes I also accidentally smuggle a nanogram of drugs in different countries. Like, no, that was a horrible plan. The maximum sentence that Brittany could have gotten was 10 years in prison. She got 9 intense, right? So why? Why was there not a better plan? Why not go to trial? Let's hope for leniency at trial. You're literally putting, you know, her life and her freedom in the hands of one judge that can just decide, no, I'm not going to show you any leniency at all. Like, that one judge has the power to say, you can just go free, time served with 6 months, or I'm going to give you 10 years. And she got 9. Like, that's insane to me. So I don't understand what her defense strategy was. It makes no sense at all. I do understand that our government in America, they are trying to do a prisoner trade, a prisoner swap, which would allow Brittany to come back to the United States. And at that point, I'm assuming that she would be released. But it really just feels like her defense team just are putting all of their eggs in that basket, and they didn't even try to go to trial. Okay, hi, so I'm editing and I had to run out here and film this quick little clip to add to this video because I didn't mention it a lot. Now, I'm not saying that this is right. I'm just saying that this is how America has notoriously done prisoner trades. So this is not me. I'm not saying she shouldn't come home. I'm just saying that in our history, America doesn't go get prisoners because they broke the law in a different country. Thousands of people travel abroad every single year and they commit crimes over there, or they go to jail over there, like locked up abroad. It's a whole thing. And our government very rarely goes and helps them. Like, it sucks that she's there. It sucks that she's there. But I think it's a little comical that we're all screaming, go get her, when we're not talking about the thousands of people that travel abroad every year and have to do prison time in different countries. No one cares about them, you know? So is there a little entitlement here? Am I reading too much into it? I don't know. I'm not saying she shouldn't come home. She should. It sucks that she's there. But I just wish that we cared this much about all of the other Americans that serve time in different countries, or all of the Americans serving time in this country for petty drug offenses. I get it. It's an honest mistake. I'm not saying that she is a bad person or that she shouldn't come home. She should. But this government will only go get you in times of war if you're a high value target. If it's like a hostage situation, they don't typically do prisoner trades. Like, it's really uncommon. So I can't help but to feel it's a little bit of a political stunt, you know? I was a prosecutor putting people in prison for weed, and Biden signed the 1994 crime bill that fueled mass incarceration. So it's just odd to me that we're in an uproar about her and not everyone else, you know? And like I said, she should come home. It sucks that she's there. It was a mistake. I get that. But we have a lot of work to do when we're talking about people serving time in and out of this country for minor drug offenses, but specifically here in this country. I'd let everyone out of prison all around the world for drug offenses. I don't think that anyone should be incarcerated for that. I mean, if you're like a trafficker, you know, cool, I get it. I also don't think I said that Brittany had a medical card, and I get that, but the laws in America are super weird. So like, even if you have a medical card, you're not supposed to travel. Like, you're not supposed to fly with cannabis. And my lawyers, the Pot Brothers at Law, Mark and Craig, they will always tell you not to fly with cannabis, and know the laws in your states and get it when you land instead of flying with it. Even though TSA doesn't really care in this country, still you shouldn't risk it because it still is federally illegal. Hopefully that's ending soon. But yeah, I had to pop in here and say all of that. Okay, back to the video. Again, does no one watch Locked Up Abroad? I'm just saying. This is what I find kind of offensive, and it really irritates me to my core to think that so many people are upset that Brittany got prison time for cannabis. Like, y'all are mad now? Now y'all are mad when a different country is doing it to someone. You're mad because Russia is putting her and keeping her in prison for all this time. Now she was sentenced to 9 years. Now you're mad, right? Are you mad because it is egregious and it's horrible to sentence someone to 9 years in prison for the tiniest little speck of cannabis? Is that why you're mad? Is that why you're genuinely mad? Or are you only mad because it's a different country doing it? Where were all these people when we were making cannabis illegal in the first place? Do you not realize that there are 40,000 people in American prisons with cannabis charges? Now that number is rough because most people that are charged with one thing are charged with multiple things. So it's like 1% of the prison population that are only in prison for weed, because usually there are other charges alongside that. But there are 40,000 people incarcerated in America because of cannabis related issues. So y'all are mad for them too, right? Our president, Joe Biden, came out and said that this is egregious and this is not okay, and they're working and doing everything they can to bring her home. Joe Biden was a important component to the crime bill, okay? Now, I'm all about like growing and changing and understanding and learning from your mistakes. So yeah, like, go get her, Joe. But the amount of things that the Biden administration can do to help people in this country with harm reduction, substance use disorder, and incarceration, it's a lot. I'm just irritated because, like, yes, we should be mad that she's there. She shouldn't be there. It's egregious, horrible mistake that she made, right? But I'm mad that we're not seeing the same uproar when it comes to our own citizens being incarcerated wrongfully, unjustly in this country for drugs. It's not okay. And I hope that these people have the same passion for helping, you know, fix our prison system, because it's gross. It's gross what we do to our own citizens. Yes, I think Brittany should come home. I'm just like, hello, where were y'all? You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? I don't know. But it just kind of irritates me because I'm like screaming about prison reform, and it feels like prison reform only matters on a grand scale when it's, you know, something like this. And that makes me crazy because prison reform matters desperately, like we desperately need change. Okay, back to this 9.5-year sentence. Do I think that she's going to serve the 9.5 years? Not really. I don't think so, because of the whole prisoners trade thing that we're trying to do to bring her back into the States. So not only is it 9.5 years, she was also fined like what would amount to about $16,000 in US currency, which all of that sucks, and everything that I just said about that is not even the most concerning part. Okay, so something that is even more concerning to me and why I think that Russia is choosing to make an example out of her and keep her there, and I am afraid for her, is because Putin has been very outspoken and against LGBTQ rights, saying that same-sex marriage would never be allowed in Russia. So for that reason, I am pretty concerned. You know, I'm concerned for her safety. That is the last place that I would want to be right now, especially as a person of color that is LGBTQ plus, you know, it's just not a good place for her to be. So I'm really hoping that she can come home and we can bring her back here. You always think that it's not going to happen to you, but we are all human beings. We all make mistakes, right? I think that this was an honest mistake. I just think that it was so like, it was careless. She should have known the laws in that place. She should have not brought it. She should have double checked. I do think it was a mistake. She's a human. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. So people always think that they're not going to end up arrested or in custody or in jail or in prison until they are. I can't tell you the amount of times where I was sitting in a county jail and people came in and you could tell they were there for the first time because they always had the same look on their face. It was like this, like, right? Like they look fucking scared. They look completely scared. They don't know what's gonna happen. They usually have their arms crossed and they're standing in the corner. They don't want to talk to anyone. Like they're quiet and they're shy and they look like, what's going on? What's gonna happen? Like this is the food? Like they act like this is crazy. I've seen it happen time and time again where they never in a million years thought that they would be in a jail cell until they are. It happens all the time, you know? So this was a careless mistake that is costing her a lot of pain, and I hope she can come home. I'm very concerned for her. I can't help but to be frustrated that everyone is like, no, this is not right. We have to get her home. And it's like, yes, we do. It's also not right to keep people in prison in this country for cannabis. Like those people need to come home too. So we have a lot of laws, right? But anytime that our government is like, hey, you know what? That law that we made, that kind of sucked. We're just gonna strike that from the list of things that are illegal. So like that thing over there that we said was illegal now is legal. Yay, we did it. But there's a huge problem with that. It's that there are tons of people locked up for whatever it is that we've decided is politically correct or politically not correct at the time. So because we have so many laws and our political climate changes all the time, we're like, hey, we shouldn't do that over there. And then everyone agrees and we change the law, though people are still in prison for the thing that we decided is no longer right because we don't make laws retroactive. So it basically is like, okay, from today on, weed's legal, yay. Okay, well, what about the 40,000 people that are in prison on cannabis-related charges? What about those people? The government will push back and say like, oh, we don't want to like overburden the system and let all these people out, so like they can just stay there, it's fine, just forget those people. But from today on, you can smoke weed on the beach in LA. Like, what? So everything is bittersweet. Also, everything is very slow in this country. You know, we don't have like tons of rapid change. It wasn't designed that way. So it's infuriating that 9.5 years for cannabis, that's ridiculous. And I think we can all agree on that at this point, but it's also very infuriating that we have so many Americans locked up in this country for the same thing. So if you're mad at Russia for doing it, go vote, help with prison reform. It makes me crazy. I could rant and rave about it forever, but I think you've had enough of me ranting. Free Britney, that shit sucks. I don't know. But know the fucking laws. Like, I'm not even playing. Know the laws where you are going. I don't care where you're traveling to. I don't care if you're going from New York to fucking Alabama. Know the laws in the states that you're traveling to. And if you're going to a different country, take 10 minutes, Google search that shit, and make sure you're searching through your suitcases so that you're not accidentally smuggling drugs into a different country. Like, come on. Come on. Use a little more common sense. All right, I would love to hear your guys' comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. I'm pretty sure we can all agree that this is absolutely egregious, right? Fuck. Be sure to smash that subscribe button if you have not done so already. But I'm gonna end today's video here. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery. Don't smuggle drugs in different countries, man. I'll see you guys in the next one.